Shakespeare's biographical and psychological problem has always existed. His life and persona are uncertain, evanescent. What is more critical, there is a vast disturbing gap between the personal and the artistic, between his life and his work. Where did the author find his treasure of information, knowledge and experiences? Where did Shakespeare find the words to write what he wrote? With my book, I propose a candidate, John Florio, an ethnic candidate, unknown to the Shakespeare readers, forgotten or discarded by scholars as an Elizabethan blue-collar writer, and whose biography and personality are extremely close to the great plays and sonnets. Who am I to pretend to have discovered the true Shakespeare? I am not a traditional scholar. I'm not part of the university establishment, not professionally interested in my quest. My concern is speculative, artistic, political. Shakespeare's identity question is indeed a social-political issue, a matter of truth negated, a fraud, as Henry James called it a century ago. Reading The Tempest late in my life, I felt that there was something hidden in this bizarre, fantastic Italian story, and Florio came about. I discovered two biographies of Florio. The most important one, in 1934, by Frances Yates, who came very close to the core of the question. She hinted at John Florio's Shakespearean identity, got scared, and dropped Florio forever. The academic silence lasted more than 70 years. Biographically, existentially, Florio is Shakespeare, an immigrant in love with England who felt more English than Englishman. John was the son of an Italian refugee, a Protestant preacher with parents of Jewish origin who converted to Catholicism, a fabulous linguist, a creative mind, a polyglot, a European wit. In the plays and sonnets, you can find the same words and ideas Florius previously used in his own book. New words form in the same way. Florio's major fault is not a pure-bred Brit, but doesn't mean that he couldn't write the works of Shakespeare. On the contrary, only a foreigner like him could. Florio was the authority on Italian, French and Spanish letters in London, the greatest promoter of European cultures and languages, the teacher of the grand and noble. He translated Montaigne's essays and Boccaccio's Decameron in English and composed a magnificent Italian-English dictionary. He was omnipresent on the cultural scene. The Shakespeare his contemporaries were talking about was him, Florio. Shakespeare was a name, his artistic reputation, his nom de plume, where the spear is the pen, of course. England needed a great national author, and Florio, with the complicity of his friend Ben Jonson, Samuel Daniel and others, was able to invent it. We think of Shakespeare as an aristocratic. Well, Florio was groom of the Privy Chamber, personal secretary to the Queen from 1603 to 1616, organizer of Queen's End masques. His close friends were the most prominent writers, playwrights, poets, aristocrats of the time. More, he was tutor, friend, but also protégé of the Earl of Southampton, the fair child of the sonnets. Southampton, Shakespeare's supposed patron. In my book, I show how John Florio became Shakespeare. It is a fascinating story, a story that makes terrific sense. A Shakespeare made in Europe shows us that the birth of the modern world possesses a richness and a complexity that fill one with awe. Now, read my book.